now state property. Physical abuse, sexual abuse, and contraband, sexual activity. Tighten up. Tight.
Oh, it's tight.
Y'all that don't know, I go by Captain K.
Fuck. So least.
There's no place like home.
There's no place like home.
Hey, that's on your old ass man.
You got a girlfriend? What you repping?
I'm not repping nothing.
You better be repping something.
With that pretty old hair in you.
No smoking, no drinking.
No drinking.
I see you already in the mix of things.
Hey, what can I say? Thanks to Cap.
Seemed like a good kid, got a nice head on his shoulder.
Hey, yo, you heard that shit happening to Naomi in the kitchen? Nah, what happened to Naomi? Yeah, I heard they worked her ass. So I heard that bitch passed out in the kitchen.
They must be getting short on numbers down there, them motherfuckers. You know what that means?
Penitentiary labor, more chain of command.
See, let me break it down for you. See, Monday through Friday, we literally work in a hot box from the time we eat breakfast to a little bit after the afternoon. After work, we go to chow. After chow, we go back to the pod where we do hella bogus ass shit. And you only got 15 minutes to call your nigga, so they better be on speed dial.
You saying what? Matter of fact, since you got so much extra free hoes, make sure your schedule free this weekend. You working the dough.
You a newbie. I told you about that shit. Don't rat no fucking more. Period.
Them two together is not a good mix. Especially that Shanice and Felicia. And over another thing, don't nobody punish them but me. Love me, Felicia.
Sure, there's no doubt.
CEO, no warden. Me, got that?
Put your money where your mouth is. Let Kasha hold that shit.
Man, why the fuck she get to hold the money, y'all?
Cause who else gonna hold it, bitch?
Man, what's the big deal?
They expect us to do nothing. They expect us to say nothing.
Here you go with that white privilege bullshit.
I'm about to run the disclaimer.
Okay.
The views and opinions expressed by the host and/or guest on this show are not that of Busy One Radio. Busy One Radio is a public platform.
Okay, it should be on there now. Oh, I need a plug.
Take it very seriously. The only one we have is like my phone.
It is.
For theirs.
Jesse don't have one?
I don't think he does.
Hey, what's up, y'all? The devil is a liar, y'all. They tried to stop this podcast today. All kind of Jesus. Anyway, how y'all doing out there? I'm glad that you could tune in to the Lady Devine show on Busy One Radio. I got my girls, Julia and Boom Boom. Miss Boom, y'all. She'll be in here in a minute. And we got our special guest, Remy Pendergrass.
How you doing? How you doing?
And tonight we're talking about coming out of your dark shadow. Some serious topics tonight, y'all. We get serious sometimes. But yeah, everything is going just okay. So how you doing today?
I'm blessing yourself. How you doing?
I'm blessed, but just stressed.
Oh.
Woo! Woo!
It has been a day.
It has.
It has.
That's why I like getting here at 6:30 and getting prepared, so I'm not rushing. Because when you rush, just the enemy just be
Proper preparation.
Yes.
For performance.
Wow. You said it. What's up, Miss Julie? How your week been?
My week has been good so far. I can't complain.
Good, good.
Can't complain.
Can't complain because what's the use anyway?
Right.
But we woke up this morning, y'all.
That's all
That
matters.
part.
Who woke up this morning out there? Did y'all wake up this morning? Can we get an amen?
Amen.
Yes, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. So tonight's show is sponsored by Healing Touch Center of Cincinnati. Yes, and we offer different programs for the disabled and home health care. So check us out. We got a new website up, healingtouchcincy.com. So check us out, guys. What's up, Miss Boone?
Girl, out of breath.
Where you flying from? Downtown?
Girl.
She just ran from downtown up here. What?
I was trying to get her on time, girl. You said I got to get on one of them bikes. Girl, I ain't know how to put it in, the thing to set up the charging for me. So God help me, and I got here, the Busy One Radio, Entertainment with Kimberly Devine. But I'm here, y'all. I'm here. My wig was flying everywhere.
Oh,
Everything, girl. I almost flew off. But I am here. And I am black, y'all.
It was one of the black days today. The sun was out. We was talking about this rain. We could have the rain go, but the rain leaving. Boom. The sun just right on you. I know I got a tan. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Oh.
If I got a tan, they won't be able to see that.
Oh shit. So y'all, tonight, we're talking about a serious topic coming out of your dark shadows. Have any of you all came out your dark shadows? If you have and you want to talk about it, give me a call, 513-480-9200, and we'll talk about it. So we do have a sensitive subject today. Mr. Remy, you lost your son?
Yes, January 7, 2014, my son was gunned down in the streets of Avondale. And at that time, he was 19 years old. And at that time, I was just coming home from prison from my knuckleheadedness as a youth. And I missed the most important years of his life. So from the age of 7 to 18, I wasn't there. I was there, but I wasn't there physically.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes you think of all the what ifs, all the things I could have done better to guide him in a different direction when you can't question God's plan.
Yeah, you can. You can.
God gave me 19 years as his assignment, and I just have to be appreciative of those 19 years.
Right, right. So, was his case solved?
No.
Still unsolved. And are they looking into it, or they just put it in the file?
Just put it in the file like they do all the other ones. There's so many unsolved murders in Cincinnati. So many senseless murders in Cincinnati. And
just this last week, oh my goodness.
Yes, and if you go back into the history of Cincinnati, we wasn't raised like that. The history of Avondale, downtown, Walnut Hills, Winton Terrace, formerly Finlater Gardens. As a youth, we wasn't going through this. I mean, the worst case scenario, you got jumped. You know, if somebody shot you, you really had to do something.
Yeah, because what happened in a fight?
Yeah. Do stuff and let's fight.
There's too many unguided youth in this society right now because they're YouTube raised.
Right. Right.
They're raised by television. You know what I mean? A parent found the easiest babysitter on planet Earth, YouTube,
Right.
The internet, PlayStation.
So was your son involved in any activities that could have caused the incident?
My son he grew up in a rough neighborhood. You know what I mean? He's from downtown. You know what I mean? He mingled amongst the youth of the city at his age, doing what normal kids do. My son was a rapper, so he had a talent about himself that he was passionate about. So his music kept him out of a lot of situations.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just unfortunate that, that he got into it with somebody that couldn't control their emotions and they took his life.
So they was just having an argument.
No, not even, it wasn't even over an argument. It was just basically somebody set him up.
Oh, wow.
It was just jealousy. And a lot of people want what you have.
So they was envious of his rap career.
Envious of his rap career, his style, his charisma, his clothes. You know what I mean? It was a pair of Robin jeans that he had on that I purchased for him.
Mm.
And he passed away in those jeans.
Wow.
And it makes me like, man, and I was always hesitant to, I'm not about to buy no $500 jeans for him. But he was doing everything I've asked of him. School, etc. He was taking care of his children. He was being a man. He didn't.
So he had kids himself?
Yes, I have 3 grandchildren.
Wow.
And he was being a man. Taking care, he was about his children. About his lady, he was just growing up too fast.
Is this scary? And I'm asking you all to do we buy our kids things that make others envious of them in today's society?
We try to pacify them as much as possible to keep them from what we went through. Like in those late 70s and early 80s and 90s, like, we couldn't fix our face to ask our mama for a pair of Jordans. What?
Right.
You better get you a pair of them white Reeboks over there.
And K-Swiss.
Or some K-Swiss.
Or coasters.
Right.
I never purchased any gym shoes like that.
It wasn't no
But
Jordans back
my
then. They had
parents
Air Max.
did that for
We-
my daughter.
We were an appreciative generation because we were big families back then. We didn't have much regret. Father went to work. He provided for the entire family. He probably had 6, 7 kids in the house.
And some on the side.
And some on the side. But he provided for every last one of them. We don't have that no more.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that no more because the tide has shifted where so many single mothers have generated single mothers that women had no choice but to gain a certain level of testosterone. Because I must speak for the male species. We lack guidance over our youth.
Mm-hmm. We do. We well, I can't say we.
I'm speaking for the males,
right?
Because a lot of us are in penitentiary. A lot of us are in Spring Grove Cemetery. A lot of us are just wandering the streets on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us is just out here trying to chase the fame that we will never see.
Like they some big superstars like Birdman and all of them.
And absence in the home.
Right. And absent in the home. And I cannot sit up here and toot no horn because I've been guilty of some of these pleasures.
Mm-hmm.
Of some of these sacrifices, some of these gluttonies.
So, and you mentioned that when we were younger in the households that had the male and the female there, and the male took care of everybody. Where did your lack of that break down? At what point in your life?
My selfishness for being in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
My selfish acts caused me to be stripped away of my family.
So
and my freedom.
the selfish acts, and you guys feel free to jump in. Was that caused by the glamorous life of what was presented in the streets?
Being accepted. A lot of people go the wrong route for acceptance.
being accepted. You had to have the best clothes. You had to have the best woman. You had to have the best car.
And we could not go to school if we didn't have this on. You got laughed at. Back
What?
in the
What you got
80s.
on, polo?
Yes. I've been wearing it all my life because that's all I know. Because I can't adapt to the attention-seeking clothes that our youth so much are trying to make in style today. You know, it's like they have their own style, but I mean, it's degrading.
I just feel like
It's
get what you
degrading.
can get and afford what you can afford. Because I'm not trying to be out here in no competition because you got on polo. Now I'm supposed to go out here and run and buy Louis Vuitton or something like that. No, I'm going to get what my money can afford me to get. And that's Rainbow, Roses, City Trend, and a Goodwill. You know what I'm saying? And you would never know. You got to know how to put it together. And you never know where I got it from. I had on a dress for my mom and I got it from Reeks.
A lot
Africans.
of people don't understand the sacrifices
I'll
these
never
parents
tell you stuff.
made just to pacify their children to keep them out of the street. Well, I'll get you this to keep you out the street. And
Well, I know for me,
it's called getting spoiled. And there's a lack of discipline. You will not be able to exercise the word no. The minute you tell them no, that's when you're going to see the real side of a person.
Temper tantrums.
Right.
Disrespect.
Rebellious. Then there's rebellion. Well, I'm grown. I can do what I want. That's the favorite line of these teenagers today. I'm grown. I can do what I want.
Is that before 18? Or after?
Yeah,
That's way
that's
before
12.
18.
Shit, 11 to
Well,
12.
Man, I'm telling you,
I got a nephew.
They grown at 11 and 12?
Listen.
Girl smoking weed, everything.
Listen, I've seen kids. I'm sitting up here in the doctor's office with my kids, and I see a kid with their kid in the doctor's office. You 16, you 15. You got 2 kids already.
15.
This girl was 15 years old with a
Oh, I
child
see him.
and one on the way.
I see him.
There's no guidance.
So where is the guidance? What happened?
It goes generations back from the 90s where all of these legend players of the city and all these fathers or went to the penitentiary or just abandoned their families
And the crack.
and
that's
drugs.
what it is.
Yes.
That's what
Drugs.
it is. Let me speak from my experience. I know for me, let me touch on the fact of providing for the kids. So I'm guilty of, well, especially with the first, I have 4 kids. With the first 2, I was guilty of overcompensating for where they were lacking from a father being in the household. So I was making sure that I was getting and doing everything that I could to make sure that they felt that they were not in need or for want for nothing. I can honestly say that it backfired, right? Because you are raising at that point entitled children because they're not earning or working to get the things that you are giving them,
They're
right?
expecting it.
Exactly. So now being a grandmother and with their children, I'm coming with a different approach. And then I always get this flack like, well, you didn't do that when we was young. You ain't do this when we was little. This now. I'm like, I'm not perfect, but I know better now. So when you know better, you do better. So that's all I want for y'all is to do and be better.
Whatever you think I didn't do, y'all do it better.
But the lack of guidance, I just feel like he just said, with the men, the fathers being absent from the household, doing time in penitentiary, or just busy living their life being selfish. You know what I'm saying? Not really prioritizing taking care of their kids. That then turns into, you have a lot of people who want to badmouth the women who had to play both roles. Like you said, being a single mom, you got to play mother and father. You know what I'm saying? So then, Black women, that's Black single women, we get the short end of the stick most of the time. Like, we're so angry, we're so mean. Well, do you think about why that is?
Mhm.
Why is that? And why is it that we can't get grace when it comes to that? But on the flip side, y'all not trying to tear these men down when they were the ones who were absent.
Mhm.
We do the best that we can with what we got.
So now we have the mentality of women that feel like they're getting their own bag, and if this man wants me, he gotta buy me.
That's the generation that comes next. This generation feels like they don't need anybody because the independence of free will has given them a different mindset on how male and female are compatible.
Mm.
It's almost,
I don't even think compatibility even comes into play. Honestly,
right? It doesn't.
They had to have some type of compatibility to have that baby, right?
Yeah.
Well,
you don't have to have compatibility to have sex.
Right.
I mean, you had something.
I mean, just keeping it real. You don't. Compatibility don't have no place in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how long or short the time period is. You can make a baby.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Of course, if you ain't using it and wrapping it up, you can.
You can have sex with a person that you don't like.
That part.
Really?
And that's the problem today, because there's a lot of people mating with people they don't like.
You said mating.
Yes.
Having children.
Become a baby.
Having children.
Become a baby.
Exactly.
And they don't like them.
I hate you.
Let me say.
But you stuck because of this child.
I can honestly say, you can go from. I mean, for some people, love was there, but then as time go on and you really get to know a person and people are changing and growing or not growing,
fade away.
Then you realize, like, yeah, no, you know, what the hell was I thinking? You know, why did I even, you know? And you realize, like, you don't like this person. You really don't like them.
But it comes to a point when you really don't like them, stop. Because some women, you say you don't like these men, but you constantly laying down with him, keep having motherfucking babies by this man. And now you can't stand this man. But if you couldn't stand the first baby, what made you have a second, third, and fourth baby?
Well, I don't
That's
know
all
about
I'm saying.
that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what some women do. That's what some women do.
From the children, from the ages
of
1 to 15, right now, 41% of the mother and father have a 10-year or better age difference.
Between who? The parents or
between the father and the mother the father, because there is a whole generation right now that there's ladies out here that can mess with the son, the father, or the grandfather.
Oh, okay.
Or the uncle.
Okay.
There's a lot of people,
too.
there's a lot of cougarism going on.
Cougarism. Cougarism. I don't know. For me, I agree. You were right. There are women out here who can date, you know, in a younger age.
It's a whole bunch of sugar daddies.
But I just feel like this is what I think, honestly, when I see stuff like that. When it's an older woman and a younger man, I just feel like the woman is just trying to get her rocks out. When it's the reverse, when it's an older man and a younger woman, and this is just my perspective, and I could be wrong, but when it's an older man and a younger woman, I just feel like there's some manipulation there, especially if it's a really young lady, like in her 20s. You know what I'm saying? Just getting her feet wet. I just feel like they just want to try to mold them into being what they want them to be for them.
Everything is based on money. There's a high percentage of women out here that you cannot get their attention unless you pay a bill.
Money, unless you got a nice car, or money or cars. I ain't fucking with him if he ain't got no money and no cars. But I've never been that type of woman. That's what they doing now.
So it drives a whole bunch of males to do outlandish things to keep up this image, including sacrificing their families.
Now that's crazy.
Yeah, because
That's crazy.
you already know that.
I've seen so many people sacrifice their families for being a player.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
All right, y'all. We got to take it back. We'll be right
It's
back.
true. And they still
Coming out your
sacrificing
channels.
shit.
And that's a young nigga with the game and the hunger and the urge to go so far. There's nothing we won't go through to get to what we need. Young nigga, clean up the mud I was made. I gotta do it for the family. I gotta get everybody out of this. I gotta change this rap. Well, I was made, everything's about growth. Said I would never win, no. But I'm too strong, last long, so I never gave in. With the rest and fun, we don't cave in. Shoulder to shoulder, ride or die, something like we made it. The trench we stayed in, played and prayed and got paid. And I'm saying, through my lips, before the day ends. Feels good like heaven. I wanna bask in. Bring my brothers up. No, this is my personal testimony. I ain't never been no phony.
It's in the eyes every time.
I won't hit you up with no money.
I'm stacking. I'm
It won't kill you by no money.
That's against very cold.
This is my personal testimony.
We was trying to make it out, but you was hating from within. Trying to stop the paper route, all the real ones can vouch. I ain't never did no fake shit for a little bit of clout. Cause I was trying to make it out with my hand on my hand. Like, don't make me pull us out, you niggas better watch your mouth. Words you speaking come to life, I can vouch. I speak my truth when in this booth. All the joy and the pain, you can hear it pouring out. You know life ain't but a maze. And for them Franks, we been lost, but with music we can save.
I seen that. It's heavy on my heart, man. I wanted to look out for you right quick, man. You know.
This is my personal testimony. I ain't never been no phony.
It's in the eyes every time.
I won't hit you up with no money.
I'm stacking. I'm
It won't kill you by no money.
That's against very cold.
This is my personal testimony. I ain't never been no phony.
It's in the eyes every time.
I won't hit you up with no money.
I've been stacking. I'm just trying to
It
make
won't
it
kill
happen.
you by no honey.
Cause that's against every code.
This is my personal testimony. Wisdom, been through ups and downs, fell, got up, crawled, got up, fell again, got up.
Hey y'all, thanks again for tuning in to Busy One Radio, the Lady Devine Show. I have my girls with me tonight, Miss Julia and Miss Boom.
Boom!
She keeps disappearing. I don't know. She came up, she ran up here from downtown. So where she running to now, I don't know. But we have our special guest, Mr. Remy Pendergrass, that's here also. And we're talking about he lost his son that was 19, was gunned down. They haven't solved the murder. In just the perspective of men and women relationships and what's going on, what was going on back in the day, and then what's going on today.
So do you get involved with all of the like the stop the violence, put the guns down, the parents who, you know, lost children?
I've gone to a few of the victims of crime meetings, and there's not enough resources. I'm just going to put it like that. The city is not investing in victims of crime. There's not enough unity amongst Black people to even come together for a certain situation like this until a loved one of yours has been taken.
Mm-hmm. That's sad.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
It takes for someone to lose someone
To get involved.
to get involved. And it's an endless fight. It's an endless fight. But I coach a lot of my friends because I have a lot of friends that have lost children. And
so you have your own group.
it's not a group. It's just, you know what I mean?
But when you say
I'm a
coaching,
person you can. Yeah, I'm a.
you're
I can
available
coach.
to talk.
Yeah, and if you want to go on my voicemail and just scream to the top of your lungs, let it out.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the mountaintop like Yosemite Sam and screamed to the top of my lungs too.
Mm-hmm. And you have an outlet also. You do poetry.
Yes, I do.
So that helps you in keeping your mental together also, right?
It does, because there's a lot of things I can't say to one person that I can say to a crowd full of people. Like, say for instance, in a relationship, I wouldn't be able to. I'd be scared to talk to you because in fear of you throwing my vulnerabilities back into my face. But I can take this piece of paper and this pen and I can just throw all my vulnerabilities on this paper with my eyes closed and just recite it back to you in an artistic form.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a talent that I don't take for granted. And I thank God every day for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's special. You have an outlet because many don't have outlets. And like you said, if they can call your phone and just scream up to the top of their lungs on your voicemail because they don't know where to go.
Right.
Who to talk to.
But
the city's not being supportive.
What
it's
the
bad.
problem is, there's a lot of people that are going through this darkness, but when you ask them what's going on, in fear of showing weakness,
Or
grief,
being judged,
anger, or shame, I'm okay.
Mm.
With a smile on your face. But I'm ready to go downtown and jump off the Prince Spence Bridge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm constantly fighting through it. I'll tell you in a heartbeat, I am fine and blessed. As soon as I get out of this interview, when I get in my truck, I will mess around and break down.
Uh-huh. I have done it before, witness.
And I mean, it's good that, you can let your feelings flow.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you hold all of that bottled up inside of you,
there's too many people in this world that feels alone in a crowd of people.
Mm-hmm.
Alone in a crowd of people.
You know what? June is Men's Mental Health Month. So it's good that you're here talking about this.
Let's talk about
So, like, after your son's murder, what did that do to you mentally? Did you seek help for it? Did you talk to anybody? Or how did you deal? How did you handle or cope with that?
I got on my knees and I prayed. I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. And depression is real.
Very much so.
I used to judge people like, man, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Depressed about what? We get money. Until something that close has been snatched away from you. It's a piece of your heart you can't replace. And your heart doesn't beat correctly without that piece. And it sends you on a wave of depression because you're going through the most 4 used emotions that a human can use: anger, fear, grief, and shame.
Mm.
I'm angry because my son is gone. I'm angry because I can't do nothing about it. I fear this will happen to me. I fear that I can't be a father to my existing child because my depression won't allow me to function like an everyday human.
Wow.
The grief of it will send you under. The shame of not being there more than what you were. Those 4 emotions can take somebody under. And men's mental health is not recognized because we're expected to be strong. We're expected to push through. No matter what's going on, we're expected to provide.
Yep.
Getting beat up all day in the street to come home to just get beat up some more. There's a lot of men that's checking out as far as suicide, divorce, abandonment. Abandonment is a big word in a small dictionary because that has a lot to do with mental health because a lot of us generation and us been abandoned too. So how are we supposed to be a father if we ain't never had a father? How are we supposed to be a father to a child when we learned how to be a father from our mother?
Yeah. Me and my son was just having this conversation today.
Yes.
Literally having this conversation today.
So that's why these generation of men are so emotional at this point. Because they were raised by emotion instead of discipline. We used to fear our fathers. What? Oh, daddy coming? Oh.
Yep.
Daddy's ass whooping didn't compare to mama's ass whooping. We didn't want that from
I
daddy.
never got daddy's whooping. I always got mama's whooping.
I take mama's whooping any day over pop.
No.
I always got my mama's whooping.
So
So now they have no fear.
lack of discipline.
They have no fear.
There's no fear whatsoever because the simple fact that they grown up in an alone environment, being raised by social media.
And a lot of these families are not spiritual. I'm just putting it out there.
There's the lack of spirituality.
They're not made to go to church like we had to go to church every Sunday morning.
But no matter what you
We
put
didn't have a choice.
We ain't had no choice.
Clothes.
We didn't have a choice.
Go as he is.
We ain't have.
We didn't have a choice. We didn't have a choice.
I know
They don't do that
there's a lot of young people that don't even know the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah. But they know how to shake their ass and bounce it and pop it and
They wrap those
Every
sides.
side, all the bullshit.
Parents-
Robbing and stealing.
Parents these days are
Killing.
giving these kids choices and amenities. Getting a phone at 13 years old was unheard of as a child.
Yeah.
In our generation.
Phone wasn't even out like that when we
It
was
wasn't,
when we
but
was growing up. It was house
The
phone.
thing was a pager.
Well, that's
Or you got your own phone in your room.
That's really the biggest difference between our generation and the generation that we're raising. Because when we were coming up, we didn't have all the distractions. There was no internet,
None of
no
that.
social media. You know, if something happened, by the time you get to school the next day, people gonna be talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Or you can call somebody on the phone, the house phone.
House
And
phone.
say, you
House
know,
phone.
If I
Or the
didn't
phone
answer,
booth.
I just wasn't home.
Or the phone booth. It wasn't even no answer machines and shit back then.
This
as well.
right here made the world lazy.
I wish they take all that shit away. Though.
It made it it made life too
Go back to
convenient.
how it used to be.
Confused.
Even 2-year-olds know how to work these damn phones now.
Oh,
If-
yeah.
if
Oh,
the
my
inter-
baby had the phone.
If the internet was to shut down today,
Well, they died.
a lot of people,
A lot of people died. They
There
was
would
all
be
talking about crashing
nobody
out.
under 30 that will survive.
Yeah.
Look, they crashed out when they messed up the internet when everybody's phones went out. It's a lot of people's phones went out. Oh, girl, they was going. Oh, it was like something horrible. My phone, the internet, Facebook gone, this gone, Instagram, other.
That's the darkness.
For real?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
well,
darkness.
phone?
That's the darkness.
That's the darkness.
I'm glad that shit went out. I wish they take all this shit away.
The darkness of a generation of women not needing a man.
Mm.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
We talked about it.
I don't need no man.
Well, I don't think it's our generation.
It's not our generation.
I think it's the generation after us that
these 30s and 20s, 30s.
Yeah, they don't need a man because they can get their own bag.
There's a whole bunch of parents still trying to live their life while parenting. And you can't do both.
Mm-hmm.
You either gonna be a parent or you gonna be out in the street.
And let's be honest, it's a lot of women that want to be with women, men that want to be with men.
Mm-hmm.
We are lost.
They are confused. My granny, rest in peace, used to say they confused out here.
We are a lost generation.
There's a lot of women that will promote that men are sissified, but if you look at the percentage of homosexuality, women represent the higher percentage.
I can believe it. I can believe it. They don't need a man.
I'm gay because I don't want to be with you. I'm gay because I don't want to give you no money. I'm gay because I don't want. I said no. This is a whole generation of people that cannot take the word no.
This is facts. This is facts. Speaking as a mid 30-year-old man, if you deny a woman, that's her go-to comment.
You gay.
Wow.
Because you ain't giving her no money, you gay.
You gay.
Not because you ain't giving her no attention.
That's what I'm saying. And women hate when they don't get attention. Most of them got to get attention about wearing these clothes out here. Let's talk about that with their asses and shit hanging out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all think y'all get that attention because a man gonna beat you down. Come on now.
And then when it don't work,
that's when you gay, you a sissy, or you a punk.
That's where the time bomb tactics come in.
Yeah.
You use anger as a weapon of control. You insult others to build yourself up, etc.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're gonna promote me into the ground before your ill intentions and your ill mistakes come out. To where the point where I'm already drowning in the fire of controversy. The whole thing is off of you,
right?
And you the whole cause of it. And it's vice versa. There's men out there doing it too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You got some men. Yeah, men out here.
Yeah.
No, what we talking about? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And they don't want to admit it though. How you have a job, you got a nice car, you got a nice apartment, but you study as the women for shit. I don't get it.
That's a woman ass.
I don't get it. That too, as well. You know what I'm saying? I put them all together. Shit, nice or one more nice or whatever, all together. I see that all the time. And then if you don't give it to them, they don't want to fuck with you. Hold on.
I'm cool.
You see it on both sides.
Yeah, so it's 50-50.
There's men out here that been raised by all women and they don't know nothing but the emotion of a woman.
Right. That's
so.
Because the father was absent.
If you see a whole bunch of women to a man with their hand out, obviously, okay, you're gonna be like, okay, mama, what's up, man? You're gonna be looking. You looking for a mother in your woman.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're looking for a mother in your woman.
Some of them say,
you know that saying where it says, I want you to be. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't even want
you got to be like my mother.
Because that you. I wouldn't want you to look at me.
I would not want no woman to be anything like my mother because there is no one that's going to compare to her.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I'm not going to put anyone on that pedestal. Mm-hmm. And that's where a lot of people go wrong, putting people on a pedestal that they don't belong on. And that's where it comes back to people messing with people they hate. All because of image.
Wow.
All because of lust and gluttony. A lot of people mistake lust for love. Good sex is not love.
Right.
It's just lust and sex and boom.
You gotta keep it in those categories because you gotta deal with the reality of it.
Well, a lot of people don't have the capacity or the bandwidth to be in control of their emotions. A lot of people can't manage their emotions, so they be all over the place with it. And that causes a lot of strife and turmoil when dealing with the opposite sex. Like if you cannot control your emotions, if you are emotionally unstable, there is absolutely no way that you should be dealing with another person until you get yourself together.
Exactly. Come heal.
Yes.
Come heal. Because I've made that mistake of rushing too fast. Comfortability. And I ain't got comfortable. Oh yeah, she cook clean, you know what I mean? She chills, laid back. But I'm dealing with a whole cycle. I'm dealing with a whole cycle. There's cycles out here with OCDs too. So you can't let that be cooking and cleaning and, you know what I mean, taking care of home be the only thing and characteristic that you see in a woman. Because I can cook clean and do all that myself.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And they kill me talking, I cook, I clean, I do this. And so
I
what?
I went a decade without sex, so I can't. I'm not pressed.
Calmer.
Now that's different. How was that? You went a decade without sex.
I was in prison.
Okay.
So,
okay. I thought you was out here doing something.
No.
Like,
but when y'all in prison,
because it opens your eyes to what you took for granted of a woman. Missing that warm touch at night, missing that sensitivity where you just talking to a bunch of hard men that's angry at the world. That teaches you what you take for granted of a woman, and it teaches you how to appreciate it more. You would never want that to go away again.
I got a question.
They will make but so when a man comes out of prison and then he just hangs around a bunch of women, they will mistake that as him being a player. No, I just spent 10 years around niggas. I just want sensitivity and peace. And you can't even provide that because you have an anger management issue. That's why you can't pay attention to the mental health issues and the numbers, because there's so many people that's undiagnosed.
It is.
Girl, what is it?
Okay. Is this true? When y'all go to jail, has somebody ever tried you?
No.
Because you hear a lot of guys saying that, like, man, you got to go in there, you got to be tough. Because if they see you a punk, look like a punk or whatever, they're going to try you.
No.
Okay.
It's not.
Because I hear a lot of people saying that.
I did 10 and a half.
People.
I did 10 and a half years in federal prison. Now, there's 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, you know what I mean, people that's just never going home, and they're just a menace to society. You know what I mean? You have a couple of those, but there's not what everybody say, that all the faggotry they say that's going on in jail. Now, all of that ain't really going on for real. There's some.
There's some.
But it's not at the percentage that everybody's promoting it is. You know, because you're so separated and segregated. It gets real because you're dealing with race now. You go over in a penitentiary, like I was in Leavenworth Maximum in Kansas, and blacks had to hang with blacks, Mexicans with Mexicans, white boys with white boys, and you know what I mean. Everybody was just clicked up, and it made me understand gang mentality. And because for the life of me, I did not understand why would you join the gang. For the life of me, before I went to prison, and I had to sit up there and watch the structure of unity between races. That it gave me a lesson on how to come together.
So the gang was your family?
No,
It's
I
not?
never ever, not once in my life, and never will join the gang. It was just no choice in the matter. It's either that or you're gonna die in there. You know, it's serious. It's serious about that because the respect level goes up. Everything gets more serious.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can lose your life over the smallest thing just off of principle. And there's no principle in life out here on the outside.
Say that again.
Because so if some of that discipline in the penitentiary was out here, this world would be a little bit better because when someone instills discipline, when a man instills discipline out here and he's been to jail, they want to say he's institutionalized. How am I institutionalized? And I don't live life like I'm in jail because I took the discipline from jail and brought it with me and left everything out. I'm institutionalized just because I said no to you. I'm institutionalized. Wow. Because I won't do or confide in what you want me to do. I'm institutionalized. I'm rebellious. You know, it's stereotype. And we living in a stereotypical world right now.
Did you speak on why you went to jail? I know you said being out in the streets and stuff like that, but what did you do? Was you selling drugs?
I did 10 and a half years for armed bank robbery.
Okay. Just being real, being honest.
I was a loose cannon in the street back in my days, and I learned a valuable lesson.
So we have 5 minutes left. Would you be willing to give us one of your poems?
Sure.
Yes. And don't forget, y'all, this month is Men's Mental Health Month.
And don't forget, he has done a few of my comedy shows with his poetry.
Check in on your people.
Yes. And I do poetry as well.
That's all
Come
poetry.
Kim,
I
go
don't
see.
know what to give.
I do mine different. Flow from your head.
I wrote this piece. It's called No Pity.
No pity.
I was talking about the heartlessness of my city, of Cincinnati. I wrote this piece and it was dedicated to the late Sam DeBoe. He was a brethren of mine, and I wrote this for him before his funeral. There's no pity in my city. I'm from the slums where fiends and bums beg for crumbs because there's no help in my city. There's no unity. The TV got outgrown, looking not so sexy in my city. There's no justice nor peace in my city. If you feel me, you can look at my eyes and see the pain, the shame I have for my city. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to grind for my city. Do what I got to do for my family and my city. But can everyone do the same? You see, I know the history of my city. Cincinnati is its original name. There's no respect in the game in my city. The police is racially corrupt in my city. Since you didn't lock up Ray Tinsley, you got a lot of angry black people in my city. Cincinnati is such a beautiful city. It used to be the best place to raise a family. Yeah, downtown, Bond Hill, London Hills, Avondale, Lincoln Heights. Zone 15.
Mm-hmm. I'll say that.
But don't get it fucked up. You can get lumped up in my city.
Mm-hmm.
Messing around one of these young boys will wet your ass up in my city. You missing out on so much talent in my city. The majority of the music you listen to today was originated in my city, not to mention that the invention of music, of funk, was originated in my city.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati. It's such a beautiful city. That's that piece.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
We want to thank you for tuning in to the Lady Devine Show on Busy One Radio. And we thank our guests, Remy Pendergrass. We pray that one day you will have an answer for your son.
Yeah.
God has already given me my answer. I'm already at peace.
That's beautiful. Thank you, sisters, for tuning in, for coming. Julia
I
and
appreciate you
Miss
having
Boom
me.
Boom.
They kept hollering. I kept hearing them holler my name. Boom, boom.
And
Yeah, this
we'll see you
seems
next week.
crazy.
Maybe next week we'll have this together. I don't know. The devil's busy.
Check me out, Remy Pendergrass, on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Warning Shot Sounds.
Boom, 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 boom.
Lately I've been going through some things that only you can get me through, God. 5 kids and a wife and the world sitting on my shoulders.
MIG going crazy.
Jesus Christ is only right. He got me through my darkest times. Can't lie, can't do no wrong. And I'm weak, he make me strong. He's so amazing. He's so amazing. He's so amazing. He's so amazing. Been with me since I was a kid. Kept me from doing big. Pocket full of land. Help me pay the rent. No food in the fridge. Chicken after church. Look how my father works. He's so amazing. He's so amazing. He's so amazing. He's so amazing. Jesus Christ is only right. He got me through my darkest time. Can't lie, can't do no wrong. When I'm weak, he make me strong. He's so amazing. He's so amazing. He's so amazing. He's so amazing. Living life, it's hard to do right when you live in strife. Hey, buddy. The light being Christ, you ain't gotta fight. When you at your low, he want you lean on. Restored her to a queen from a fiend mother. All he got is love, you just come to him. He'll take you out the mud, make you a clean brother.